Hello and welcome to my channel. For those of you who do not know what my channel is about, obviously nobody knows. It's my first ever video. I'm basically I'm going to be making videos on Indian football, and mostly my focus is going to be on Football Manager, and I might in the future make podcasts about Indian football where I sit down and discuss topics and upcoming topics, happenings in the Indian football scene. So for my first video, I thought I should do a coverage on something I'm really passionate about. That's Football Manager, and I've been playing this game for about 4 years now, 4 and 5 years. Yeah, it's not been that long, but still, I'm pretty. I'm a massive fan of this game. So, what's this game about? It's basically, for those of you who do not know, the simulation game where you become a manager and you manage a team. Now, I use the word simulation, but it's just highly detailed, and the levels, the depths that you can go to in this game is unimaginable. So, what this video is about? Now, I have gone ahead and after a lot of preparation, a lot of trial, a lot of error, I have made a merged league. Now, a merger in the Indian football is something I think every fan is excited about. Everyone's waiting when the merger goes through, but we just have no idea when it will happen or if it's ever going to happen. And I thought, I wanted to see exactly how effective the merger would be, or how much of an effect the merger would have on Indian football in general. So I have gone ahead and revamped the whole Indian football footballing system, or the league system, and yeah. So let's get right into it. So if I go to India and I look at it, you can see the Indian Super League. If I go ahead, you can see that there are 16 teams. Now this is exactly what I was talking about completely revamping the league system in India. Here we have 16 teams. Now the system I've gone with is what seems the most likely thing to happen, which is 16 teams, the top 10 or all the teams from ISL, and the top 6 teams from I-League. Now I did this a while back. I made this league in, I think, last month or a month before that. So if you see Real Kashmir is not there in the second division, that's just because the reputation wise, basically I've kept all the leagues teams in second league according to the reputation. Now that you know that, here we have a look at the teams. You have the 10 teams from ISL and 6 teams from I-League, which is Aizawl, Churchill, East Bengal, Mohun Bagan, Minerva, and Shillong Lejong. Now let's go ahead and look at the rules here. 30 games each, again 15 into 2, 30 games each, and I think in a sum total, the amount of games that are played are 315, if I am not wrong. 240 games played overall, and that's a lot of money. That's one of the biggest factors of this league is the more number of teams, the more number of matches, and that means just that much more revenue for the team, right? So here we have the rules, the dates. The dates I haven't changed a bit. It's just standard, I think, English football dates. 3 points for win, 1 for draw, 30 games each, blah blah blah. So now here we have 8 foreign players in the squad, which includes the starting 11 and 5 substitutes. I think ISL teams are allowed more substitutes. I haven't really seen into that, and if they are, I'm sorry. I will make the change, and if I ever decide to publish this league system for you people to play for, if you have the game, I will change it for sure and make it maybe 7 substitutes. So no more than 5 foreign players in the starting 11, which is the standard ISL rule, and I somewhat agree to it. Yeah, there should be at least one under 23 player in the squad. Now that does not mean that the under 23 player should be in the starting 11, and I have a reason for why I have made this decision, and I'll get back to that shortly. And etc. So now prize money. I have because there are more number of games in the league. I thought the prize money should have been increased. Obviously, because it's in the proportion to the number of games you're playing. So the first team gets 9 crores, second team gets 7.5, third gets 6.5, fourth gets 5, fifth gets 4, and sixth gets 3. Now the bottom 3 teams are relegated to League One, which is the second division. It's kind of like English football in that regards. Now continental qualifications, I have no control over this. I cannot decide how many teams go and face and where they qualify. It's all according to the coefficients and the Asian coefficients and ranking system. So I cannot change this. It keeps updating it as as and when the team plays better or worse. So the top team qualifies for AFC Champions League second preliminary round, which is how it is currently. Teams placed between second to fourth qualify for the Asian Confederation Cup, which is the Asian Cup, basically AFC Cup. Team in fifth qualify for the Confederation Cup playoff. 1 match ban after 5, and this is pretty standard stuff. Now next up, I League, which is the second division. If we are to look at the teams, you have the remaining 4 teams from I League, and teams that I think should be playing in the second division or should be playing league football, which is basically all the teams from I League except the reserve teams and other clubs to basically fill in the slots. I think Goa, Salgohakar, Rangdaji United, they aren't there in the second division. I think even Mohammedan isn't there. So yeah, you can pause the video, take a look at the teams, and yes, Real Kashmir FC are not there, and I'm really sorry. I made the league before I League 2 ended, and who would have thought they would win? I know, I think a lot of people did, but not me, obviously. So you have Gangtok Himalayan, you have Gokulam, you have Hindustan FC, which I think is a Delhi-based club. You have Niroka, which again, great club. You have Salgaonkar, you have Sporting Goa, you have Vasco, Southern Summit, etc., etc. Now, if you look at the rules, it's the same standard rules, except like obviously the prize money is less. The top team gets 4 crores, second gets 3, third gets 1.5, fourth gets 80 lakhs, fifth is 70, and 60 as follows. Again, the rules are pretty standard. Same number of matches because same 16 teams, and I wanted to keep it somewhat equal and evenly distributed in that regards. Here's I League 2. Actually there are no remaining teams from I League 2. So you have clubs which have played league football in the past 5 to 6 years, and I chose them specifically over some of these more prestigious or legacy clubs, mostly because these guys have played recently league football and are the most likely to be able to play again because they aren't struck too bad with the financial situation wise. You have your Eagles, you have Bardes, you have Golden Threads, Green Valley, Northeastern United team, you have Kenkri FC. Again, Kenkri FC, little there, here and there, but you have 2 clubs from Mumbai, and that's pretty fine. You can see here, again, this is before the reserve started. So if you look at players like Nitesh Aswani, I think he's currently playing for the FC Pune reserves. I'm not really sure about that. But yeah, you have Pride Sports, you have Real Kashmir, you have Tolly Cheung, I'm not really sure. Again, Kolkata based club. If I'm to go over the rules, same structure. First team gets 20 lakhs, second gets 10. Oh wait, sorry. First gets 2 crores, second gets 1, third gets 70, fourth gets 55 lakhs, 45 and 30. As and when it goes. You might think it's a bit too less, but you need to realize I League 2 will get minimum amount of TV coverage or fans coming in, except for obviously clubs which have hardcore fans like maybe Guwahati FC, Green Valley, even Tolly and Real Kashmir. Now this is the league. These are the league structures. Now obviously every league structure needs to have a cup system, and I have thought of that as well. There are three cups, as you can see here: the Indian Super Cup, the Indian Federation Cup, and the Indian Secretary Trophy. I mean the cup. Yeah, I mean same thing. So the Indian Super Cup is basically a cup for the top two divisions, which is ISL and I League. That means 16 teams each. I'm not sure how they have injuries. I haven't played much, but doesn't matter. So 16 teams, round robin format. I mean 32 teams. Round robin format with 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, and the winner respectively. The rules are pretty standard, but I think the prize money is 1.5 million rupees, and if I am to look at how much that is, I think that's about I'm not sure. I think it's about 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs. I'm not sure. I think it's more. I think it's less. I'm a bit confused with the figure, but doesn't matter. Again, there is money involved, and so you might be wondering, why isn't there any European qualification with the cup, or why isn't there any Asian qualification? And it's pretty simple. I'm not the biggest fan of the cup being a spot for a Super Cup. I mean the Asian football, and it's pretty simple. For example, a team from second division goes on to win the league, they would be representing the country in Asian football, which they could have had a abysmal football league. The league, they could have finished last, could have been relegated, but they would be playing Asian football. I think the same thing applies for English football, if I'm not wrong. That you need to qualify you need to finish top 4 of the table and win to qualify. I'm not really sure exactly how that works, but again, there is prestige and money to play for. A lot of money and prestige to play for. And people who say there are no incentives, I just do not believe with them. There is an incentive. There's money. It currently ranks 15th in the Asian competition. If I have to go here, you can see this is the cup competitions in Asia. Obviously, the Japanese Tenno, Hisen, Nippons being the most prestigious. Then you have the Hana Bank FA, you have the King Cup of Champions, I think, which is the top tier of Saudi Cup. I'm not really sure, but yeah, it's somewhere there. Then the second cup I'm going to be talking about is Indian Federation Cup. Now, the Indian Federation Cup, again, is not the same Federation Cup as the current existing ones. It's just the name. I've taken the name because there is prestige in the name, and it's the same continuation, but it's not really the same format. This cup is the amalgamation of all the teams, all 48 teams. Now, how this league works: in the first round of the cup, it's only 32 teams, which is from the I League and the I League 2, the second and third division, who go on to face each other. Whoever qualifies, and the second round, all the ISL teams join in. So then in the second round, you have 32 teams again, and hence then you can continue the round robin format. The third cup is the Indian Secretariat Cup, which is the lower division cup. It's just the 16 teams from the I League 2. They play for their prestige. I'm not really sure. There's not much. Okay, so the prize money for this is 50 lakh. If I'm not wrong, 50 lakh, and loser, the semi-finalist. I mean, the finalist gets 20. I think I forgot to mention the amount of money that the Super Cup and the Super Cup and the Federation Cup winners get to the final. It's again 50 lakh, but because there are more matches, the money is distributed evenly, and there's a lot of money basically. Same with the Federation Cup, the winners. So the winner gets 20 lakh. which I think it's not most amount of money, but you're getting money to play, you're getting TV money, and you're getting ticket sales. So I think it's pretty fair enough. Also, Indian Super League has TV money, which is not there in the current league, in the current footballing system in India, and I think it's pretty unfair because TV money can really take the clubs from level here to the next level because of the additional funds and what they can do with the funds. Now, I don't think it shows the TV money, but the TV money for the Super League is 10 crores. It's 4 for I League, and I think it's 3 for I League 2. Now, if you are to go over and look at the teams, you'd see so now if you look at all the leagues, you must be wondering where Indian Arrows are. Now, even though I'm a big fan of Indian Arrows, I'm not the biggest fan of the concept or their existence in itself. And that's because the Indian Super League does not have more than 20-25 players. And that just means that just 25 players are being developed constantly. And I do not believe in that. So, as a compulsion, each team in the Super League and I League have to create a youth academy, actually 2 of them, which is the under 21 squad and the under 18. Now, the game works in different ways. So, if your team does not have an existing youth system or a youth academy, it makes players for itself. For example, guys like Suman, Imran, Rasool Rai, Rohan Shrikant, none of these guys exist in real life. But it's not like just because they're randomly created, they're the best players. No, they're in accordance to the youth academies, the youth facilities the club have, and how much they can continue to progress and how much they will progress. If you look, the game is pretty detailed in its ways. You look at the senior squad and look at all the players that it has. Every single player that does play in the team is there. They're there in the club. So the league system works in this way. All the youth team also have their respective cup competitions, and they both have cup and league competitions. If you look at the schedule for the under 21 teams, you have the Group 1, which is basically I forgot to name it really, but again, it's just a first division. And you have here, if I'm not wrong, okay, I cannot seem to find it. I think it's for the under 18 as well. Yeah, so under 18 Cup, which again, just all the under 18 teams that exist play in this cup. I'm not really sure how this works. I did not mess around with this. I just thought it exists and that it exists as these cups, exist however they are. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how the league system works. Now, this is part 1 of what I think should be a 5-part series. I'm not really sure, where I simulate the game 10 years into the future, and every 2 years I report back on how much progress India and the league system and various teams have made. Now, one thing that you need to remember is that I'm here to look at the overall progress by the country and not progress by clubs. For example, I have already done the simulation 4 times. Yes, and this is my 5th time doing it, and in each and every single time I have done it, I've had a different result. I've had a different, different club output. In one of the simulations, Mumbai City FC, for example, signed a lot of great players. I'm talking about players like Aaron Williams. I'm talking about players like Sandesh Shingan as well, and Ranjan Singh in the centre backs after Lucian Goyan had retired. And they finished, they won the league thrice, the cup once, and the AFC Cup once. So, and in the second time, Bangalore FC won it. The third time, I think Bangalore got in the 8th year got relegated. So you need to realize that the game works in different ways, because there are certain probabilities and possibilities for how the simulation can take place. Any one single mistake can just be disastrous or completely beneficial for the team. So you need to realize I'm not here to look at the overall progress. I'm not here to look at the club progress, but I'm here to look at how much of a difference it makes to the country. Now, if you look at the country, the game right now, for some reason, okay, I know the reason. They're ranked at 153rd, and that's because when the game was developed and released, India were ranked 153rd, right? And if you look at the Argentina is currently at the top. Again, it's not the most accurate thing, but eventually it will set itself to pace, set itself because of how detailed the simulation is. You look at Stephen Constantine, he exists. He's there in the game. He's not there in a lot of game. If you want to see how detailed this game is, you can look at any small player that you might know who's playing in a youth academy, youth league, and the player will exist in the game. It's just fantastic how well the game is. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about is how I want the leagues to function. Now, my aim is by the time the simulation is done, the 10-year simulation is done, because I think that's enough time for teams to develop and everything. So the main reason I'm doing this is because I want to see how strong the youth facilities are. The moment the youth facilities start developing players, you see that they're developing a lot more players than just 30 from the Indian Arrows. For example, there are 32 teams who have 2 squads of like 30 players each, 16, yeah, and that's roughly about 1,920 players who are fighting for the 22 spots in the under 21 and under 18 team, and not just 30 to 40 in the Indian Arrows. So that just means there's a lot more talent, there's a lot more options, and a lot more there's a massive increase in talent and how well we play. And in the 10 years, players who are in the under 18 will be in the under 28 squad. I mean, not the under 28, I'm sorry, the senior squad. And I just want to see how much better those players are than the players who are currently playing for the team. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching the video. Now, again, please do not hammer me, and if you disagree to any of my points, feel free to comment down below, and I'll be ready to either make adjustments or explain or justify myself why I have taken the decision. Again, this is my first ever video, so please do not hammer me. Do not, destroy me in the comments going, oh my god, he's pretty bad. And yeah, please make sure to subscribe, like, and if you like the video, even share it with your friends, share it on football groups on Facebook, Instagram. I just want people to know that there is someone who is ready to talk about and who is ready to do all this for Indian football. Again, I'm not saying I'm the greatest and I'm a great person, I'm just saying. Yeah, anyways, thank you for accompanying me in this awkward video, and yeah, I hope to see you soon.